Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here tonight at Worldwide Technology Raceway with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Harpoon Design 150 Raceway with the wheel here shortly, folks. We are gridded up and just about ready to roll. Qualifying is over, and no surprise here, it's official. Quick time, Frankie Barroso, top of the board, going to kick off from the pole position. But, folks, it is time to get gridded up and rolling here at Gateway, Worldwide Technology Raceway, whatever you want to call it. It's Monday night. Wheels America Racing Cup Series starting right now. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's starting lineup is as follows. On the front row, from the pole position in the number 12 machine with Harpoon Design Racing Storm Motorsports, Frankie Barroso. On his outside in the number 1 machine from the same team, Steve Tucker. Row number 2 on the inside in the 39 machine, Joseph Mealy. On the outside in the 36 from Blackout Motorsports, Dylan Marante. Row number 3 on the inside, going to be the number 8 machine, Dennis Ansman. On his outside in the 13, Michael Lanphier. Row number 4 on the inside in the 09, Derek Fye. On the outside, the 88, Matthew Fleming. Row number 5 on the inside in the 2 machine, Cody Keller. On the outside, the 20, Chris Essery. Row number 6 on the inside in the 41, Michael Kurdzlik. On the outside, J.R. Schomburg. Jumping on back into row number 7, ladies and gentlemen, it is the 11 of Derek Collins. On the outside, the 28 of Tommy Osborne. Row number 8 on the inside, the 54, Brian Burchett. On the outside, ladies and gentlemen, the weapon, the fan favorite, the 48, Kerwin Marshall. And that is your starting lineup here tonight, folks. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your Monday night right here on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Field is set. Pace car is in. Front row, Barroso on the inside. Tucker on the outside as they roll towards the Juicy Spider restart zone. Green flag in the air. The Harpoon Design 150 is underway. Heading into turn 1, it is a side-by-side battle for the race lead. Frankie Barroso trying to hold off Steve Tucker. Oh no, Barroso sideways, hard to the wall. Oh my, Barroso is junk. Chris Essery right behind him. We are still green. My, oh my, not what you expected to see. Frankie Barroso's junk. Steve Tucker, your race leader. Green flag still in the air as we head into lap number 2. We're still clean and green. Let's jump back here to this replay, folks. Take a look. See if they got tangled up here or if Barroso just junks it. Oh, Barroso just loses it off the corner. And right behind him in the 20, gets right behind him. So there you have it, folks. Green flag still out. It's going to be Tucker, your race leader. Marante second. Mealy third, followed by Fleming and Ansman to round out your top 5. Down the long front stretch here at NASCAR's best track, Steve Tucker, your race leader out of Boston, Massachusetts, trying to hold off Dylan Marante. Appreciate you folks tuned in here tonight. Wheels America Racing Cup Series right here on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Folks, hit that like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Larry McReynolds has a quick message. Go ahead, Larry.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong. Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights
We are back here at Gateway. Steve Tucker, your race leader, but jumping back into fifth, Dennis Ansman out of Warren, Ohio, trying to hold off the 24 of J.R. Schomburg. We jump back here. We got a good battle brewing here for last. Michael Lanfear, currently in 14th. He is ahead of Barroso and Essery, who wrecked, but he is the last place running car that hasn't junked it. Let's hop on board with the Colorado Springs native, Michael Lanfear, running for last. Jumping up to the beautiful Harpoon Design blimp high in the sky here tonight in the Wheels America Racing Harpoon Design 150 at Gateway. We're watching the back markers right now. They're ripping it around here, battling for last. But we jump back up to your race leader, Steve Tucker, trying to park this number 1 machine in victory lane here out of Boston, Massachusetts. Looks like he's built up about a 0.6 of a second lead on Dylan Morante. Clean racing so far here tonight. We jump back in the field a bit. Derek Fye sitting in the 7th position from York, South Carolina. We got a handful of drivers unable to make it here tonight, including Jesse Becker and Christian Taylor. They no-showed. Unacceptable, honestly. But when you're as slow as those two are, I don't blame them. But we're going to jump around the track here. Enjoy the sounds of the speedway. And I'm going to mute my mic. Listen to these cars rip it around here at Gateway. Still clean and green around Gateway. 15 laps left to go here in stage number 1. We're going to have a stage break here after 24 laps to start with lap 25. Steve Tucker has led every single lap so far. Dylan Morante still in second, with Joseph Mealy rounding out your podium here tonight. Folks, we got something to show you we've been working on. It is not completed, so it's not in full form yet, but take a look at this beautiful race information here we got right here. There you have it, folks. Those are the qualifying results. Right there, let's switch it up here. Looks like we cannot show the race results until it's over, obviously, but let's go to practice. In practice, Steve Tucker was your fastest car on the track with Barroso second, Ansman third. There's the rest of the standings. Then we go back to qualifying here. Frankie Barroso was on the pole with Steve Tucker, followed by Joseph Mealy. Folks, we're going to have this information for you after the race ends as well. So good stuff right here. Me and Jesse Becker, we've been working a lot in the background to get this done. Going to be some good race stuff coming in the future. Hard into the wall goes Morante in the second position here as he's trying to hold off Joseph Neely. And folks, if you're just tuning in, be sure to click that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a Harpoon Design 500 event race coming up here on Friday, February 6th. You're not going to want to miss that. Be sure to tune in, and if not, you need to race in it, folks. A $5 entry. We've got payouts up. We got about $100 in payouts on the line. We also have a free paint voucher to harpoondesign.com for the most popular driver. And today we had somebody jump in. We're going to do a $25 drawing for a random driver that does not finish on the podium. So we've got about $150 or more actually worth of prizes here in the Harpoon Design 500 coming up. We're going to be in the Gen 4 Cup cars at Old Daytona on Friday, February 6th, 7 p.m. Eastern is going to be the green flag. So if you want to join in on that fun, shoot me a message on Discord at Hutch25. That's right, Hutch25 on Discord. We'll get you signed up. Only a $5 entry. Meanwhile, Dennis Ansman cruising in the 5th position. 10 laps left to go here on stage number 1 at Gateway. Steve Tucker well out front, a 1.85 second gap on Dylan Morante in the 2nd position. Looks like Tucker's probably going to take home stage number 1 unless these guys junk it. Only 16 cars signed in here tonight. Handful of guys unable to make it. And folks, the weapon, Kerwin Marshall, currently cruising in the 14th position, trying to bring home a top 15 and not on speed. Jump back up front here. We got a battle for the 2nd position. Joseph Neely looking underneath the 36 of Morante. He's going to make the pass. And right behind him, Matthew Fleming trying to get his nose under there to take over the 3rd position. Let's hop on board with our 4th place car, Matthew Fleming from Van Wert, Ohio. Right behind him in the 5th position, Dennis Ansman trying to stick around with these guys. We've got a line of about 4 of them from 2nd back to 5th. These guys racing for some stage points here, and very important to get as many points as possible here in the stage. Jumping back here in the back of the field, Brian Burchett in the 54 machine, currently in the 10th position. Duking it out here with Cody Keller in 9th in that number 2 machine. But it's dominating performance so far for Steve Tucker out front, a 2.5 second lead. Joseph Neely 2nd. Dylan Morante still finds himself in the 3rd position. Dropping back here, the Kansas City native Dakota Collins finds himself in the 13th position in the number 11 machine. Trying to work through the field, folks. Let's pull up your Hutchinson Motorsports TV hard charger board, and it is Matthew Fleming currently in the 3rd position, making the pass on Dylan Morante. He's up 5 positions since the start of this race. Started 8th, finds himself 3rd. And we have Brian Burchett running 10th after starting 15th. He's also up 5 positions as well. Pretty low car count here compared to what we usually get here with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Again, a handful of guys unable to show up tonight here. as we rip it around Gateway. Steve Tucker dominating 2.5 seconds out front. Good run so far. Michael Kurdzlik sitting in the 7th position from Louisville, Kentucky in that 41 machine, trying to reel in this pack of cars right in front of them as they continue to duke it out from 2nd back to 5th or 6th. Here I'm downshifting going into the corners here at Gateway. Michael Kurdzlik giving it all he's got as Dylan Morante trying to hold on, stuffed it into the wall earlier while he ran in 2nd. But this is the last lap around the track here for stage number 1. Steve Tucker at the corner here. Looks like he's going to take home our first stage as he goes down the backstretch. So down this long backstretch here at Gateway into turns 3 and 4. Steve Tucker, your race leader here with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series Harpoon Design 150. And boy, is it fitting to have a Harpoon Design sponsored car out front to take home stage number 1. Steve Tucker, your stage 1 winner. So Tucker brings home the stage, Mealy 2nd, followed by Fleming, Morante, and Ansman, your top 5, folks. Let's get a quick interview here with Steve Tucker. Steve, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, not much. You know, great stage for you. You led every lap. Unfortunately, it looked like Frankie Barroso lost it there coming off of turn 2 and finds himself currently in last.
Yeah, that would have been a good battle. He's definitely path, as he always is, and this is one of my better tracks. It always has been. So, I'd like to think that I can, I don't know, do something tonight. Maybe get a 3rd win of the season. We'll see.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we wish you the best of luck here. You're at my home track, dominating so far. Still a long way to go, but it has to feel good putting stage 1 in the pocket.
Yeah, it's nice. 10 extra points. Obviously, trying to get ourselves to the next round of 8. You know, for the fans watching, this is a tough place. It looks easy, you know, typical 1-mile track, but it's not. I mean, you're shifting all over the place. You know, down to 3rd gear sometimes in turns 1 and 2. It's a lot of fun. It's an oval, but you kind of treat it like a road course, and yeah, it's a good time. Hopefully, you guys are having fun.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we'll send you back up to your team and wish you the best of luck from the night.
Yes, sir.
So there's Steve Tucker, your stage 1 winner, folks. We're going to take a quick break here and be right back here watching the Wheels America Racing Cup Series here at Gateway Harpoon Design 150. We are back here at Gateway with the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Michael Kurdzalik goes with 2 tires down pit road, takes over the race lead. Not sure how this strategy is going to play out, but the pace truck is in. Field is set. Going to be Kurdzalik on the inside, Tucker on the outside, into the Juicy Spider restart zone. Green flag back in the air. So here we are in stage number 2, about 21 laps left to go here before we throw the caution, rack them up, and start stage 3. Michael Kurdzalik, your race leader, Steve Tucker second, followed by Mealy, Fleming, and Morante. Dropping back in the field, we got a battle for last. Kerwin Marshall trying to hold off the 20 of Chris Essery, who was involved in an incident earlier. But folks, don't look now. Frankie Barroso going through the field. Hard charging quickly. Keep an eye on him. He is not out of this race. Already up to 10. Frankie Barroso. Spun it out. Coming out of turn 2 here tonight to start the race from the pole. But he is trying to work through the field to salvage a night. Gets hard into the wall. Hopefully that 12 car's all right. But we jump back out front. Michael Kurdzalik trying to hold off Steve Tucker in a battle for the race lead. Z-Mead in the chats asking if Kerwin Marshall and Amazon Prime had a fallout, but that is not true. Z-Mead trying to spread some rumors here, folks. Amazon Prime is very happy with their sponsorship on the 48 machine of Kerwin Marshall as he continues to run dead last. Well, I tell you what, this 48, he is a fan favorite, but man, is he slow. Look how slow this Prime machine is. Let's hop on board. I don't even know if he's flooring it down the straightaway. Kerwin Marshall, he is a roadblock here at Gateway. Jumping back up front, Steve Tucker trying to look underneath the 41 of Michael Kurdzalik. Took 2 tires on that pit stop, finds himself in the race lead. Tucker right on the back bumper, just waiting to strike. Here at Gateway, the only way you're passing somebody is getting underneath them, and it looks like that's what Steve Tucker's going to do right here. As they come out of turns 3 and 4, Kurdzalik holds on to the race lead. Drop back in the field a bit here. Let's take a look at the front windshield of Joseph Mealy watching this battle for the race lead. Kurdzalik doing some aggressive side drafting there on Tucker. Tucker holds in line here in the second position. Joseph Mealy licking his chops, trying to reel these 2 in. Jump back up front here. Kurdzalik continues to hold off Tucker in this battle for the lead here on lap number 34. 120 laps around Gateway here tonight. You're watching the Harpoon Design 150. Kurdzalik loses it off the corner there. Steve Tucker takes over the top spot. So Tucker back into the race lead. Ignore that, folks, as I'm working through some technical issues, but we are good to go, still clean and green here at Gateway. Harpoon Design 150, Steve Tucker, your race leader. Joseph Mealy looking to get underneath the 41 of Kurdzalik in a battle for second as Tucker starts to pull away. Real quick here, folks, let's take a quick break, and we will be right back. Don't you worry. We're going to Hutchinson Motorsports TV side by side. You're watching the Wheels America Racing Cup Series. We are back here at Gateway. Derek 5 finds himself in the 7th position here with Steve Tucker, still your race leader. Tucker out front, 1.7 second gap continues to climb. Michael Kurtzlik holding on to the 2nd spot there, took the 2 tires on the stop, and it looks to have worked for him with 9 laps left to go this time around. Looks like the 8 has spun himself out during that caution. I don't have a replay of it. Let me try to dig through my notes here, see if we can find something. Dennis Ansman all the way back to last. There you have it, just lost it himself there. 8 of Ansman loses it, goes down to the apron, keeps it rolling, doesn't tear anything up, finds himself in last out of Warren, Ohio. Steve Tucker, your race leader from Boston, Massachusetts. 8 laps left to go. He's trying to sweep the stages. Can Steve Tucker make it a maximum points day? Checking out, Frankie Barroso finds himself up to 8th here, folks. We saw him get into the wall a few times. Hopefully this number 12 machine is all right. He's going to have one more pit stop here in about 8 laps. Started on the pole, ended up losing it off turn 2, trying to get back up through the field to give himself a shot at this race. But it's been the Steve Tucker Show here tonight. 7 laps left to go here in stage number 2. We're on lap 43 already in the Harpoon Design 150. Almost halfway home here in about, I don't know, 20 laps or so. Dylan Morante takes over the 2nd spot from Michael Kurtzlik from Northampton, Pennsylvania. 3rd place, Kurtzlik. 4th is Joseph Mealy out of Schenectady, New York, trying to get around that 41 machine. Let's hop on board. Let's jump up to our eyes in the sky, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, the Harpoon Design Blimp paint start at just $25. Harpoon Design, Brantley Roden, the #1 rated painter on Trading Paints. Folks, if you're sick of looking slow, head on over harpoondesign.com, fill out the fillable form, and he can hook you up. Usually can get a paint done within a couple of days for the most part. But with 5 laps left to go here in stage 2, Steve Tucker, still your race leader, almost a 2-second gap on Morante. As we look through the field, let's pull up your manufacturer standings. Take a look. Steve Tucker, top running Toyota in P1. There are only 2 Toyotas on the track. Average running position, 5.2. In the Fords, we got Dylan Morante in 2nd. 5 Fords out there, 7.8, their average running position. And then in the slow junk Chevys, Joseph Mealy running 3rd. We got 9 Chevys out there, 9.6 average running position. So there's your manufacturer standings here, folks. You're watching the Harpoon Design 150 on the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Steve Tucker absolutely dominating this one. Gonna be 4 laps left to go, 3 to go now at the line. In the chat, Connor Gerard said the blimp's a little close in turns 3 and 4. Yeah, Brantley Roden likes flying that thing down a little close to the speedway, especially when his car is leading. It's like Frankie Barroso has moved up to the 7th position from Miami, Florida. He was your pole sitter, went all the way back to last, currently about halfway through the field in the 7th spot. Chris Essery finds himself in the 9th position after spinning out there on the 1st lap right behind Frankie Barroso. He's working through the field pretty quickly up to the 9th position from Bakersfield, California. Tommy Osborne in the 28 machine finds himself in 11th from East Lynn, West Virginia. Been middle of the pack most of the day. Tommy Osborne running 11th. But we jump back out front. Last lap around the speedway here for stage number 2. Steve Tucker trying to sweep the stages. Dominating performance so far here tonight as we pull up the Hutchinson Motorsports TV lap leaderboard. Steve Tucker, 42 laps led out of 49. But Tucker through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Way out front, 2.1 second gap. Steve Tucker wins stage number 2. Dropping back, I had a battle there for second. Dylan Morante brings home second with Joseph Mealy third, Michael Kurdzalik fourth, and Matthew Fleming rounds out your top 5 here in stage number 2. Folks, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. Don't you touch that dial. Click the like button. Subscribe to the channel, Hutchinson Motorsports TV Wheels America Racing Cup Series. We'll be right back. We are back here at Gateway Wheels America Racing Cup Series. Field is set. Pace truck is in front row. Going to be Tucker on the inside. Mealy on the outside. Rolling into the Juicy Spider restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Great jump there from Steve Tucker. He's going to hold on to the race lead quite easily. As we look through the field, Frankie Barroso finds himself in the 6th position as he continues to climb through the pack. We got some hard racing through the pack here. 3 wide battle almost there as the 20 of Essery gets around the 8. Look out, the 2 gets shipped sideways, hard into the wall. Caution is out. Let's take a look at what happened there. If Essery might have got into him here. Take a look here, folks. Let's jump back. You be the judge here. Let us know what you think happened. You see they're 3 wide. So coming through the corner here, I mean, this is a sticky situation for certain here at Gateway. Take a look. 2 kind of comes down there. The 20 really couldn't have done anything. So in my mind, the 2 of Keller comes down. Didn't know he was 3 wide. Unfortunately, spins it out, and the 20 hits him about 4 times for good measure. So, caution is out. Tucker, your race leader. Morante second. Mealy third. We may as well go back to break. We got a new HMS TV banger to play for you, folks. Enjoy this one. We are back here at Gateway. Your race leader, Steve Tucker, still. We got some time here, folks. Well, let's pull him in for a quick interview. I think Steve Tucker is available. Let's take a look. Steve, Blake up in the booth. Got a copy?
What's up? What's up? How we doing?
Hey, pretty good there. Looks like a caution comes out here, and you're lined up ready to restart from the first position here on lap 56 right now.
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. I mean, it's definitely getting tighter right now as the sun goes down and lights come on. So have to dial back the brake bias a bit, try and get some rears into it, but doesn't feel too bad. I think the guys behind me are looking pretty good. Frankie's climbing through the ranks here, so we'll see if he can compete with us today. But so far, so good, man.
Yeah, you know, it looks like that last run, Frankie was going through the field pretty quickly, got up to about 8th there, and then kind of stonewalled out. Hopefully he can continue to climb through the rankings, finds himself 6th right now.
Yeah, not too bad. I think he'll be up here by the end of it. I've got a funny feeling, so we're going to try and battle him for it. But, yeah, you just never know. Also, too, I'm sure you've already covered this, but quick reminder for the chat. Hey, the Harpoon design, man, what is it, the 250, 500, something huge coming up here, February 6th? Got to sign up, right?
Absolutely. Harpoon Design 500 coming up here February 6th on Friday.
That's incredible. I'll be doing it, and yeah, hopefully we can kick off this week with a win, and hope the chat's doing well.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we wish you the best of luck, Steve, after you swept the stages trying to bring home a max point night if you can park it in Victory Lane.
Let's go. Hopefully, yeah, it's one, again, my favorite track. We'll see. Never know.
All right, best of luck, Steve. Well, Steve Tucker, your race leader. Field is set. He's going to be on the front row. Dylan Morante on his outside, and you heard from him. Frankie Barroso just a couple rows back. He expects him to be up there by the end of the race, and I also expect that. As the field is set, pace truck is in as they roll towards the Juicy Spider restart zone here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Green flag back in the air. Little bit of a check up there on the outside line as they look to get it going. Barroso looks to the outside of the 88. They're going 3 wide. Barroso washes up the track here. Fleming has plenty of room trying to hold on to that 5th spot, and he's going to do so. Jumping back out front, Steve Tucker still holding on to that lead. Dylan Morante 2nd. Joseph Mealy third. Then we have Kurdzalik, followed by Fleming, Barroso, and Ansman. Good battle right here. Fleming trying to get around Kurdzalik in the fourth position. Hard into the wall there goes Barroso. Should be good to go, though. Hopping on board, Frankie Barroso pinned to the outside line. I tell you what, the outside has no speed here at Gateway, but Barroso trying to make it work. Makes the pass there, gets around Matthew Fleming. Frankie Barroso up to the fifth position after dropping all the way back to last early on. Let's go through the field here. Closest battle on the track, basically for last. Not last, but pretty close to it. Cody Keller, after spinning out, finds himself battling with the 28 of Tommy Osborne. Steve Tucker, your race leader, just put down his fastest lap of the session, a 32.55. He gained about a tenth and a half on Morante in second. We're basically single file through the entire field here. No battles except this one right here. Barroso looking to make a move on Kurdzalik, and he's going to make quick work of him. Frankie Barroso up to the fourth position for now. Yeah, Steve Tucker brought up a good point. Again, I mentioned it earlier, the Harpoon Design 500 coming up. We're going to be in the Gen 4 Cup cars at Old Daytona. You're not going to want to miss that, folks. Be sure to tune in, and if you're not tuning in, you better be racing it. We got a lot of money on the line. We got payouts, a full broadcast, which we expect to be about 3 to 4 hours. So that's going to be a good one here. Hutchinson Motorsports TV, we're doing all we can, putting out some events. We got some leagues that are going to be ending their seasons here shortly, so we're going to have some free nights opening up here soon, and maybe we can come up with some fun stuff as well. And we also have our Friday night Dash for No Cash events. We don't broadcast those, but they're just fun races. They're always at a super speedway track this season, and we're in the Gen 6 Cup car. That's right, the one from the previous generation. Always fun nights. Damage off. We're at a super speedway. It's a public session. Anybody can join. Always a great time. Dakota Collins finds himself in the 9th position, trying to hold off J.R. Schomburg in that 24 machine. As always, folks, appreciate you tuning in. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, let us know who you're pulling for. As we watch Chris Essery rip it around in the 11th position, junked it early on, trying to get through the field. And we're back out front here. Dylan Morante finds himself 0.8 of a second behind your race leader, sitting in second with Joseph Mealy not far back here. Let's hop on board in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV left rear suspension cam on your second place car, Dylan Morante. Heading down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, you see those brakes lock up. You use a lot of brake here at Gateway. If you watch the real NASCAR races, you always see some brake failures. Here at Gateway, again, you got these long straightaways and then skinny, tight corners. But let's hop on board here. Your race leader, Steve Tucker, and we'll take a listen in. Do a full lap around Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway. Race leader, Steve Tucker. There you have it, a full lap around Worldwide Technology Raceway with your race leader, Steve Tucker. We got some battles brewing here from second on back as Frankie Barroso has found himself into the second position. Steve Tucker's got to be looking at that relative now as Frankie Barroso has plenty of time with 53 laps left to go up to second. We got a hard battle here for fourth. Looks like Kurdzalik and Morante getting together there. Hopping on board, Dylan Morante in the fifth position, putting some work in on the 41, Michael Kurdzalik. The only problem for Frankie Barroso, he had to burn up his stuff to get around some traffic, so you're probably going to see Steve Tucker maybe be able to pull away, but we'll keep an eye on that relative. Right now, he's about 4.5 seconds back going into turn one. Two and a half. I think I said 4.5. Nonetheless, Tucker well out front. Big lead for him. We'll look at some lap times here and compare, but it looks like Steve Tucker is about 1.5 tenths faster than Frankie Barroso right now. Tucker crosses the line. Lap time's going to be a 33.30. Barroso last lap, 33.27. So Barroso basically neck and neck, about 3/100ths of a faster. 3/100ths of a second faster than your race leader, Steve Tucker. With Barroso coming out of turns 3 and 4, we're going to hop on board, take a lap around with Frankie Barroso, see if he can maybe reel in our race leader, Steve Tucker. Boy, it looks like Barroso is reeling in your race leader. I'm looking at some lap times. Last time around the Speedway, Barroso was 2/10 faster. That time, 1/10 faster. So he's slowly chipping away. Still a lot of laps left to go here, folks. He doesn't really have to gain too much every lap, as long as he's consistently gaining. But I'm looking at some speed times going into the corner here, and Steve Tucker, last time I checked, Steve Tucker going to the corner about 104 to 105 mile an hour. I'm seeing Barroso going in about 106, 107. So he's been able to get into these corners a couple mile an hour faster. And I think that's the difference on your lap times. As they cross the line that time, Barroso, another 10th gain. So in the third position, Joseph Mealy trying to hold off the 41, Michael Kurdzalik. We have Dylan Morante, followed by Fleming, Ansman, Phi, Essery, and Brian Burchett rounding out your top 10 here tonight. But we're clean and green here at Gateway in the Harpoon Design 150. The only cautions of the night have been on the stage brakes, plus the one on the restart we had. But in the chat, we got Roxanne Chavez Essery pulling for her boy, Chris Essery, who finds himself in the 9th position. Took me a minute there to find him. I was having some issues with my overlay here tonight. You guys can't see it, so that's fine. But nonetheless, we got 46 laps left to go here. Steve Tucker out front, 1.65 seconds. Connor Gerard says it's been a great race tonight. Definitely agree, Connor. Not many wrecks, only one on from a restart. And we find ourselves already in the lap number 76 here tonight out of 120. These guys are going to have to pit one more time. Last time they pit was on lap 51 for most of these guys. So when are they going to want to go down pit road? My guess is probably here in the next 10 laps or so. I assume they do need to pit. I doubt they'll be able to make it on fuel the entire way. Last lap around the track, looks like Barroso gained about 2.5 tenths of a second. So about 25 100ths of a second, quarter of a second gained from Barroso. So he continues to reel in Steve Tucker, race lead down to about 1.35 seconds. Drop to the back here, running last on the lead lap. Kerwin Marshall. We got Tommy Osborne. He is out of this race. He junked it and he towed it. He's finished. So Kerwin Marshall currently sitting 15th. Last out of the cars running. Derek Fye, he's been top 10 all night. Finds himself in the 8th position. Started in 8th. Started 7th. Sorry, I don't know what I'm thinking. Started 7th. He's running 8th. He's lost his spot. So Steve Tucker still out front. Looks like he's maintaining that pace. He's gained 0.2 of a second on Barroso. So a little cat and mouse game going on. Steve Tucker might have saved his tires a little better than the 12 car of Frankie Barroso. Looks like he gained 1/10 that last time. So about 0.3 of a second the last couple times around. Steve Tucker seems to be picking up the pace here out front. So 41 laps left to go here tonight at Gateway. These guys, they pit on lap 51. So about less than 30 laps on these tires. So here in the next 5 laps or so will be the midway point of this stage here in stage 3. Looks like Barroso has that race lead down to a second right now. Continues to reel in Steve Tucker. After Tucker gained a little bit of ground on him, Barroso picked it up. Boy, that last lap around the speedway, Frankie Barroso over 0.4 of a second faster than Steve Tucker. Boy, I think Frankie Barroso's got to be the favorite to take home this race. He is nearly to the back bumper. He's flying right now, folks. We're on board with Frankie Barroso in the second position. Going to be 39 laps left to go here this time around. Steve Tucker doing all he can. He's shaking the draft even here at Gateway. Last lap around, Barroso gained another half a second on Tucker. He's basically right there. He's just waiting for an opening to make the pass for the race lead. When are these guys going to pit? If you're Steve Tucker, you got to be thinking of doing something different. If you stay out there here a handful of laps, you're probably going to give up that race lead to Barroso, so maybe you come down pit road a little early. We'll just have to wait and see what Tucker does here as he holds on to the race lead 0.2 of a second out front with 38 laps left to go here. Hopping on board, Frankie Barroso trying to diamond the corner to get a run down the backstretch. Can he make the move and take over the top spot? Tucker moves up the track here to throw some dirty air on the front bumper of that 12 machine. Seems to be working. He slowed him down a little bit. And again, folks, I'm assuming we are going to have to pit here tonight one more time. I doubt we'll be able to make it on fuel, but again, I don't know. It is possible that they are. But Barroso continues to work on your race leader. We're going to stay tuned right here on Frankie Barroso, Steve Tucker battling for the race lead. Morante down pit road. He goes. He's the first one to head down. So Dylan Morante going to try to flip the script here. Pits a little bit early. Wants to gain some ground. So that has to make your race leader, Steve Tucker, think, how long do I stay out? Right now, the tire fall off, folks, is over a second. The key here, folks, to me, it's going to be track position between these two. I think the first to pit is going to have a huge advantage. Whoever pits first between these two, if they don't have any issues down pit road, they're going to take the race lead. And then you're seeing what Steve Tucker's doing with dirty air here. So you can defend pretty well here at Gateway as Frankie Barroso running the diamond line. See if he gets a run off the corner, and he might just do so. Down the backstretch they go. Tucker trying to hold on to this race lead with 35 laps left to go. Where is Barroso going to go? Great battle out front for the race lead. Going to be 34 laps left to go this time around. They're over halfway through this pit stint here. When are they going to head down pit road? Down the back stretch they go. Tucker, your leader. Barroso right on that back bumper. Not pitting this time by here. Going to be 33 laps left to go again. If I'm either of these two, I'm heading down pit road. I'm trying to short pit the other one. But we're going to hop on board with your second place car. Frankie Barroso trying to make a move on Steve Tucker as you see him diamond the corner to head down the backstretch. There you see the pit entry there. It's going into turn 3. So you do have to go down pit road before turns 3 and 4. But these guys, they're not worried about it yet as we jump up to the Harpoon design blimp as we have a battle brewing for the race lead here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Looks like Matthew Fleming down pit road as well as Dakota Collins and J.R. Schomburg. Your race leaders continue to stay out. Joseph Mealy about 2 seconds behind these two, sitting in the third position. Fourth's going to be Ansman, about 4 seconds back. Then we have Phi rounding out your top 5. Down the backstretch they go here. Lap number 90. Looks like they're coming up on a lap car, maybe coming out of the pits. We're on board with your race leader, Steve Tucker. These two teammates continue to battle bumper to bumper for the race lead. Two Harpoon Design cars battling for the victory here in the Harpoon Design 150 at Gateway. See Steve Tucker shaking the draft here down these long, skinny straightaways. Barroso ripping the top again. He's trying to diamond the corner to hopefully get a run down one of these straightaways. On the bumper he goes. Is Barroso going to make the move? Seems like Barroso's a little bit faster, but Tucker isn't budging. He's not giving him a lane. Derek Phi and Joseph Mealy down pit road they go. Smart decision there from Mealy to head down pit road in front of these two. If they stay out too much longer, you might see Mealy able to leapfrog. He was only a couple seconds back as Steve Tucker continues to hold off Frankie Barroso in this battle for the lead. Tire fall off right now, folks, is about 1.5 seconds. So again, you know, these guys stay out 2 laps longer than Mealy. Mealy's going to leapfrog them. I'm kind of shocked they're still staying out here, folks. We're well past the halfway mark here in stage number 3. Going to be 27 laps left to go this time by. We got major tire fall off here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Steve Tucker holding on to the race lead. Frankie Barroso right there with him. We're staying glued to this battle for the race lead. They see some lap traffic in their front windshield, but they should be able to pull away from them with the fresh tires as those cars just came off pit road. Looks like they're not going to pit again here. Going to be 25 laps remaining. Steve Tucker holds on to the race lead. Frankie Barroso second. Dennis Ansman up to third. And Kerwin Marshall sitting in fourth on a pit strategy call to stay out. Here comes Dennis Ansman down pit road. So again, these two just continue to stay out. I mean, I personally think this is a terrible decision. I think they need to fire their crew chiefs, because I believe you're going to see these guys maybe leapfrog these two. Remember, folks, every lap around, you're getting about a second and a half, maybe a 1.3 to 1.5 seconds on these two leaders. Maybe a little less. But definitely over a second gain every lap around as they continue to stay out there. 24 remain. Frankie Barroso, Steve Tucker out front. You see Morante with the fresh tires. He's a lap down, trying to get around these two, and he's going to do so pretty easily. Barroso gets caught at a bad time. He's going to lose a lot of ground to Steve Tucker as he lets those two guys with the fresh tires by. Mealy going to do so as well. So that's Morante, Kurdzalik, and Mealy trying to unlap themselves as these two have the worst pit strategy I've ever seen in my life. Steve Tucker trying to find a way to lose this race, in my opinion. Well, I think that would have been a great lap to pit as Steve Tucker was pinned down to the bottom. Going into the corner. Steve Tucker, 22 laps left to go this time by. So Kerwin Marshall still out there on alternate pit strategy as well. Dylan Morante finds himself fourth. Morante went down pit road on lap 84, so he kind of short pit everybody. You got Michael Kurdzalik went down pit road on 89. So about 5 lap fresher tires for him. Kerwin Marshall down pit road this time. Like we got a car trying to get around Tucker. That's the 2 of Cody Keller. Going to look to the outside. Look at the tire difference. So you see all these cars unlapping themselves. Passing your race leaders like they're sitting still. Tucker pinned down to the bottom. Is he going to finally pit, or does he want to lose this race? Steve Tucker down pit road. So Frankie Barroso going to stay out. Not sure why. Terrible decision for Frankie Barroso. He's going to have the race lead, though, this time by. So there you have it. Frankie Barroso out front. Steve Tucker down pit road. Right now, folks, the tire fall off is about 1.6 seconds from what I'm seeing. So Frankie Barroso, again, going to give up about a 1.6 second gap here by not pitting. And he's going to stay out again. So Frankie Barroso, worst pit decision of the century. They need to fire the driver, fire the crew chief, fire the entire team. Frankie Barroso trying to blow this race. 20 laps left to go. As we take a look, Steve Tucker off pit road. Looks like he went with 2 tires. So 2 tire stop for Tucker. Let's see what Barroso does. I think he's going to pit this time. So you're going to see Frankie Barroso. My guess is it's going to be a 2 tire stop because there's only 19 laps left to go. I still think this is a terrible decision as Steve Tucker's off pit road with 2 tires, currently in 10th. So there you have it, folks. Talk about the choke job of the century. Steve Tucker, Frankie Barroso make the worst pit decision of their entire life. They had a free win in the bag between the two. Well, right now, folks, there's 19 laps left to go. Steve Tucker currently running. Well, we're going to keep an eye on lap time, see if maybe Steve Tucker can gain on the rest of the field. Looks like everybody went with 2 tires, so that's one thing to remember here. Tucker's going to have massive speed compared to the cars in front of them, but he's got a lot of ground to make up. So Michael Kurdzalik now takes over the top spot. Look at the gaps here through the field, folks. We got Kurdzalik followed by Mealy, Morante, Fye, Fleming. You see Steve Tucker, he's 6 seconds behind your race leader with just 18 laps left to go. He needs to gain almost a half second every lap. I just don't see it happening. Let's look at some lap times, though. Steve Tucker, he is much faster. I am looking at lap times. His last lap around was a 32.7. Your race leader ran a 33.3, so he's gaining about 0.6 of a second. He might have a shot at this win here, folks, but it just depends how quickly he can get around the traffic in front of him. He needs to pass 7 cars. It is not impossible for Tucker to still win this race, but I think he really made it hard on himself for no reason by staying out about, I don't know, 15 laps too long almost. Let's make it 10 laps. He stayed out 10 laps too long. We're going to keep an eye, though, as Michael Kurdzalik, your race leader. We got a battle for the lead. The 39 of Mealy looking to the inside of Kurdzalik. He's going to take over the top spot. Joseph Mealy, your race leader. So let's see if Mealy can pick up the pace out front to maybe keep himself ahead of Steve Tucker. 15 laps left to go. Joseph Mealy, your race leader. Michael Kurdzalik second, followed by Fye, Morante, and Chris Essery rounding out your top 5. Peeking at lap times here, Steve Tucker's last lap around the track, a 32.8. Race leader, a 33.4. But right now, it looks like Frankie Barroso, the fastest car on the track, right on the back bumper, pushing Tucker through the straightaways. Boy, these guys trying to get through some traffic. They're going to take them 3 wide down the backstretch, heading into turns 1 and 2. Steve Tucker on the bottom gets around Morante. He's going to look to get ahead of Matthew Fleming now. So Steve Tucker making aggressive moves. Barroso right behind him making some moves as well. 13 laps left to go this time. So right now, Steve Tucker 3.8 seconds behind Joseph Mealy. Last lap around the speedway, Mealy ran a 33.45. Tucker ran a 33.3, but he was in traffic. I just don't think he's going to have enough time to get past all these guys. Again, Tucker and Barroso, just a terrible pit strategy, folks. I'm going to be honest. They had this race in the bag. All they had to do was pit just remotely near everybody. Now they find themselves, they're having to sweat through some traffic. 12 laps left to go. Tucker gets around the 20. That's going to move him up to 4th. Does he have enough time? He's still 3.8 seconds behind Mealy. Derek Fye in 3rd. He's going to move up the track, trying to stay out of the way of these two as they're hard charging through the field. Joseph Mealy still out front, half a second lead on Michael Kurdzalik. We're going to watch some lap times. Last lap around, Mealy ran a 33.5, while Tucker ran a 33.0. So half a second gain here for Steve Tucker. Is it going to be enough with 11 laps left to go here, folks? I just don't see it happening. Meanwhile, Barroso making a move on Tucker. He's going to pass Steve Tucker and Derek Fye in the same corner. So that's going to move Barroso up to the 3rd position. Steve Tucker back to 4th. I'm thinking they're going to definitely get around Kurdzalik for the 2nd spot, but I just don't know if they're going to be able to pass him and then get up to Mealy and make that pass as well. And plus, you have a lap car there as well in between them. That's Cody Keller in the 2. Joseph Mealy out of turns 3 and 4. Going to be 9 laps left to go. Frankie Barroso in third, 2.7 seconds back. So last lap around, Barroso ran a 32.95. Mealy a 33.5. We got Landon Bednar's in the chat. Landon unable to make it out here tonight. Good to see you in the chat nonetheless, as Joseph Mealy trying to steal a win from Steve Tucker and Frankie Barroso, who made the worst pitch strategy of the season. Again, it's not impossible, though, for Barroso to get out front and take this win. But again, he's going to have to really work for it when he really didn't have to if he just would have pit earlier on. See, Barroso has up and left Steve Tucker. Tucker's basically out of this race, but Barroso hard charging. Let's see if the 2-car of Keller stays out of the way, as he is a lap down. Boy, Keller going to go down to the bottom here. Barroso able to pass him without issue. So we're looking at lap times. Last lap around, Mealy with a 33.6, Barroso a 33.0. Oh my, Frankie Barroso making quick work of the 41 of Kurdzalik. I think he's got a real shot here, folks. He's only about a second back. Plenty of time left. I think Frankie Barroso can still win this race without an error. So the 12 of Barroso able to get through the traffic much quicker than I expected. And again, I'm going to stick to my statement that was a terrible pit strategy. It's still going to work out for Barroso, it's looking like. But again, he made this race way harder than it needed to be on himself. This time around, going to be 5 to go. Frankie Barroso already on the back bumper, your race leader. Probably going to pass him this next lap around. As we hop on board, Frankie Barroso spun it out on lap number 1. Worked all the way through the field, almost gets into the back of the 39 immediately. So again, Barroso dropped back to the last position after spinning out there, coming out of turn 2 on lap number 1. Started on the pole, went to last, finds himself battling for the race win. As he looks underneath, Mealy kind of gets into him. He's going to make the pass. Mealy trying to battle with him the best he can, but I don't know if he's got much for him. He gets into him. Mealy hard into the wall he goes. Joseph Mealy racing Barroso pretty tight there. Not sure he appreciated the battle between the two, but Barroso takes the lead. Nonetheless, Mealy back to second, Kurdzalik third. Steve Tucker on this alternate bad strategy going to take over the third spot. Might have a shot at second. 3 laps left to go this time by. Steve Tucker finds himself 4th. Actually, that's a lap car there he's going to get around. So the third place car is a bit in front of him. So I think Tucker might have a shot at third. But I don't know about second unless Mealy has some damage from getting into the wall. So Barroso up and leaving as expected. He has fresher tires. But Joseph Mealy did a great job on the pit strategy. 2 laps left to go here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Again, we got Landon Bednar's in the chat. Connor Gerard as well. Landon unable to make it out here tonight. Just got moved into a new house. Congratulations on the new house. As we watch these guys head through turns 3 and 4, Frankie Barroso, your race leader out front. Let's hop on board as he takes the white flag this time by. There you have it, last lap around. Steve Tucker takes over the third spot, gets around Kurdzalik, but I don't think he's going to have enough to run down Mealy for second. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. After starting on the pole, being involved in an incident, going back to last, works through the entire field, Frankie Barroso wins the Harpoon Design 150 at Gateway. Mealy finds himself second with Steve Tucker bringing home third. Folks, we got some interviews coming up here next. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. We are back here at Gateway Worldwide Technology Raceway. Frankie Barroso, your race winner. We're going to watch him burn it down, winning the Harpoon Design 150. Let's get some of these guys in for a quick little interview. There's your new Hutchinson Motorsports TV race results page. Take a look there as I pull in your third place finisher, Steve Tucker. Steve, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy?
How we doing? Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. A great race for you, but I'm not sure what the plan was there on the strategy. Looks like you guys stayed out a little bit too long.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's looking back at it. Yeah, I mean, my original plan was to pit on lap 90, you know, but I feel like every single time I've done that, pit earlier, caution comes out, I'm stuck a lap down, and then it's, you know, whatever. So I just figured, you know, it's go as late as we can and pit. You know, took 2 tires thinking that, you know, that might help, and it did, but it didn't. It just wasn't enough. You know, it's tough to know, you know, what to do, and especially when you're really all in competition is your teammate Frankie. It's tough to like try and bounce off, you know, strategies and things like that while you're talking to him in Discord. So he took 4, I think. I took 2, and that ultimately looked like it was the right call. So I'm pretty sure mathematically we're into the next round anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. I wanted the win, but it happens.
You know, I'm not sure what Frankie was telling you. I'm looking at his pit time, and I'm pretty sure he also took 2 tires, but nonetheless, he gets the job done as he burns it down here. But has to feel pretty good, though, to have 2 teammates here on the podium.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's been a rough, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 weeks for me in this series, just either self-inflicted or getting killed, whatever it is. So it's nice to get back to the podium for sure. So going to hopefully ride this momentum until next week, which I think is, I don't know, Atlanta maybe. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to it, and we're gonna try again next week.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Steve, before you head out, you got any shout-outs or anything to add for our fans watching here at home?
Yeah, as always, go and check out harpoondesign.com. Brantley over there is, man, like 10,000 paints on Trading Paints right now and constantly churning them out. So go and get yourself a paint, harpoondesign.com, fill out a form, and get a paint done. You can check out all of his work on Trading Paints and probably the internet and all kinds of different things. So appreciate them on board as always, and we're going to try and win this championship for him.
Absolutely. Well, hey, congratulations, Steve Tucker, your 3rd place finisher. So that was Steve Tucker taking home 3rd as we bring back up your new Hutchinson Motorsports TV results page. Take a look. That is beautiful, is it not, folks? Look at all this information here. Let's pull up your laps led. Yeah, Frankie Barroso just led 8 laps, but parks it in victory lane. But let's pull in our 2nd place finisher of the night. Almost stole a win, Joseph Mealy from Murphy Esports. Joseph, Blake up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Hey, a great race for you. I think you did the strategy about as well as you could, but unfortunately Barroso was able to get by there with just a handful of laps left.
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't frustrated. Tired of seeing that car in front of me at the checkered flag, I'll tell you that, especially with the playoffs and everything looming. So Frankie didn't do anything wrong. I'm being a sore loser, and yeah, just when it's that close, I've seen my favorite drivers lose them like that so many times, and to be just like some of my favorite drivers and get past with 5 laps to go pisses me off beyond belief.
Yeah, well, hey, unfortunately, it's got to be frustrating, but has to feel good nonetheless. You had a good night. You put it on second. It's not a win, but we're heading into Atlanta next week. Obviously, that race is going to be kind of a toss-up, but how you feeling about your chances over there?
Yeah, I mean, if you start the race, you got a chance to win it. But I don't like plate racing. I don't like drafting, and it's gonna be. I wouldn't expect to see me in the top 5 next week. I'll tell you that.
Well, hey, you never know. But hey, again, a great run for you tonight, Joseph. Second place finish here at Gateway. But before you head out, you got any shout outs or anything for our fans at home?
Yeah, first up, I want to shout out Frankie because he's really badass. He's really good, and he earned every bit of that win tonight. Shout out to my family, my friends, everybody watching, and they're, yeah, just appreciate everybody who makes it happen every week.
Absolutely. Well, hey, again, congratulations. Second place finish, Joseph Mealy. That was Joseph Mealy. It's good to hear, drivers speak the truth there. He even said it himself. He was frustrated and not at anything Frankie did, just at his own self for not getting the job done. But what a run there for Joseph Mealy. I think he hit the strategy right on the head, but Frankie had too much speed, let's just be honest. But, folks, let's pull him in here with another big win here tonight, Frankie Barroso. Frankie Blake up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Hey, what a run and what a roller coaster. You start on the pole, you lose it coming out of turn 2 on the first lap, and you drop to last, and you pull out the win with just a handful of laps left. You take back that top spot.
Yeah, I don't know how I did that, I guess. A little bit surprised, but yeah, turn 1 was, or lap 1, I should say, was not my best showing whatsoever. Kind of embarrassing, unfortunately, but luckily I was able to rebound with a little bit of strategy and was able to get the long run pace to work for stage 3.
You were able to get the job done still on that last stint, but I continue to question how long you guys stayed out there. Like, looking back, would you have done that again?
Yes and no. Like, I think for Steve, he should have came in a little earlier. But for me, I was fine. I kind of knew the lap time would fall after like 20 laps. Like as long as like Joseph stayed out or pitted earlier, I knew we would have a big tire delta. It just depended on how we got through traffic. I was able to get through traffic a little better than Steve. And then from there it was all about just getting the pace, trying to put together some lap time, and once I was able to find that, once I caught Joseph with like 5 to go or 6 to go or something like that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm in a good spot.
Yeah, it definitely looked like you caught some of those guys at about the perfect time that you could to help you get through traffic. But, I mean, like you said, you caught them with 6 or 7 laps left to go here, and you probably would have got the job done regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have the short run pace as I would have liked, but, man, I had a good long run car and was able to use that especially for stage 3. And, yeah, I was able to get the job done.
Well, absolutely. Again, congratulations, Frankie Barroso, parking in victory lane. I don't know how many wins you got on the season. It seems like a lot, though.
Maybe about 6 or 7, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But, hey, congratulations, parking it in victory lane. Before you head out, though, Frankie, you got any shout-outs for our fans at home?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Brantley Roden for the paint from Harpoon Design. Looks awesome on track. I'd like to thank everybody for watching back at home, and Matt Fleming and everybody that makes the league run, and you for broadcasting it.
Well, hey, we appreciate you. Another not dominating, but another impressive performance here, parking it in victory lane in the Harpoon Design 150 at Gateway.
Yeah, man. Thank you, guys.
There's Frankie Barroso getting the job done. Wow, folks, I'm just at a loss for words. I really didn't think he was going to be able to do it, but he caught those the lap car and then the top 3. He kind of caught them at perfect times, and he got through the traffic so fast. He just reeled in Joseph Mealy much quicker than I thought he could. But I'm going to stick to my guns. I know Barroso wins and Tucker ended up 3rd. But remember, these guys were out front by a mile before the pit stop. So I still think they probably should have pit at least 5 or 10 laps earlier on. But nonetheless, it still kind of worked out for him. Barroso gets the win. Tucker brings home third. And folks, that's going to round things out here tonight. You just watched the Wheels America Racing Cup Series on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, the world's #1 streaming service. Be sure to check out our information on the Harpoon Design the Harpoon Design 500 coming up on Friday, February 6th. $5 entry gets you entered in, and we're going to do about $150 worth of payouts and prizes, actually more. And we're going to have a full broadcast. Expect that to be about a 3 to 4 hour broadcast. You're not going to want to miss that, folks. We're going to be in the Gen 4 Cup cars at Old Daytona. We got a custom setup and everything, folks. We have went through the ringer. We put a lot of preparation into this event. It's going to be a good one. But that's going to round things out, folks. Check out the description in the channel. Join our Discord if you're interested in that and our other events coming up here. We're going to be back here on Wednesday with the Superstar ARCA Cup Series. But till then, I'm Blake Hutchinson, the GOAT. We'll see you next time. Appreciate you tuning in, especially you, Connor. We know you're out there. Landon Bednars and others. We will see you guys Wednesday night. Coming out of turns 3 and 4. Chad White on the bottom. William Duff on the top. Checkered flag in the air. Who's going to win? It's William Duff. No, look out. He just junked it. Look out. Oh, my God. World's #1 streaming service. Hutchinson Motorsports TV. On the call tonight. On your feet. Off your seats. It's about to go green.